Hello, everybody. Going live again. Let me get myself set up. Just getting myself set up here. Okay. Should be live. What's up, Kevin? I'm just messing around here. I'm not really doing too much. Like even the last live stream, I went like 2 hours, but it was really just screwing around. But I'm working on the vinyl top here. Finally, I got my trim put on earlier and some of my cleanup, but I still got to get my vinyl top here and I got to wash it all, finish scrapping my lines. So hang on here. I just got to make an adjustment to my YouTube channel here. Huh. Why is it not working? Stand by. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so anyways, yeah, working on the Galaxy here. Get the comments on the stage here. Yeah, it's a simple kit there. It's just an old-fashioned screw bottom, Kevin. I just was in the mood for a really simple kit. And then right off the bat, I decided, well, let's make it simple with a vinyl top. So, I was doing okay with it, except for I can get one side looking good and I can get the other side looking good, but then right back here to make them look symmetric is where I ran into a problem, and that happened on this one too. And luckily I had already put this strip on, uh, and I ended up peeling it off after it was already glued. Had to do some sanding and repair work there, but I was able to relay it out, and now it looks symmetric. So. Are you working on your 58 right now? Steven Kessel's here. I don't think Steven likes me. You don't like my giggles. You don't like my banter. But you do watch, so I appreciate that. Maybe I just got the wrong impression. Papa Z suggested Curbside Kev for channel name. Well, there you go. I thought you weren't going to do a channel, though. Okay, Steven, I must have just got the wrong idea. Okay, so I'm working on my car. Let me bring up some pictures because I had that all ready earlier, and then I screwed stuff. I unfortunately StreamYard just doesn't save. my stuff. So there's the stance that I'm going to work with. And I got to bring up the vinyl top image there. I had a vinyl top image somewhere. This is not a planned event, so there we go. Hey Todd, how you doing? So what I had to do to this model is add that piece of trim along the hip line there and along that back roof line. So that's all been laid out right now. So I got a piece of trim going up here and across here, and I still got to get those two bands across the roof here. So I'm using styrene 10 thousandths by 30 thousandths strips here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm getting ready to do my roof line seam. Take a look at that reference picture again. Okay, so it's sort of right at the curve on the back here. So basically there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of tape. A little piece of tape to kind of hold that there while I think about it a little bit. This is only my, well, it's my fourth vinyl roof. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to use Tamiya extra thin. This is going to be a brown vinyl top with brown candy over silver. So this is candy over silver, so that's going to be the body color. And then I'm going to have a brown roof, brown interior. So it's kind of a drab car, but dressed up with those bright wheels. The whole theme is Grandpa gave his loving, cared for car that he babied to his grandson for a graduation present. So what's the first thing the grandson going to do? He's going to get some aftermarket wheels on that car and get it jacked up in there, put some air shocks on back. That's what I would have done. All right, so you got to definitely want to make sure it's where you want it, because once you get that glue in, you're kind of committed. Okay. So I let it overhang so I can get the majority of that glued, and then I'll come back and trim it and sand it. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, I got a couple of these down. I was thinking about doing the tape method that I seen people do, but I decided I'm still gonna stick with paint. It's done me well on my first few. All right, so there's one strip down while I'm waiting for that to cure. I'll get another one down on this side. Cut me a piece of tape. My bench is a disaster. I like to keep things neat and tiny, but when I build, it doesn't take long for me to just get everything out and in my way. All right, so trick is Get them looking equal. So let me stare in my light here for a minute. Well, that certainly is not equal. Thinking about it, I think I'm off a little bit. I need to twist that a little bit. I think it looks good. No, too far over on this one. All right, now yeah, I haven't tried any of the masking kits or the vinyl kits. So I did my first one with just holding my airbrush way back and spraying dry to get a little texture on there with just black paint, and that one worked well. I did that on my Charger, and then I bought the textured black lacquer from MCW and did my next two roofs, and I like that. It's a it has a nice texture to it. But MCW currently is closed because he's moving back to Ohio, and you can't order currently for a while he's making his move. So I think I'm gonna make up some craft paint. Doesn't have to be craft paint, but I'm probably gonna use craft paint. What do you think? Equal? I think it looks good. Equal. You know what? How about measuring it? What a novel idea. Three-eighths. Or no. You have 3/8. Yeah, I'm not. That's not equal. Looks good from your house. I don't like things when you have to have things concentric. That becomes the challenge. So I thought that looked pretty good, but it was a 16th of an inch off when you're talking 1/25. Okay, 3/8. It's weird. To the naked eye, it looks pretty good. Oh, look what I did. I broke this one. The glue broke. While I was screwing around, I hit it with my roller. Let me fix that before it's too late. Okay. Hey, Matthew. How you doing? Welcome. Hi, Rob. Got 18 people here watching me. Appreciate that. Okay, before it's too late, I'm going to slice that with my utility knife here. And glue that down before I destroy it. Because once this is all dry, I'll sand that down just a little bit because it's a bit too much of a bump right now. AWASH MG8CE, not sure what that's saying, but welcome. You're about to go full bore on model building? Good. Johnny. Hi, Johnny. Okay, so gotta get this one cut up front here too by the window trim. So I'm just taking my scalpel blade and just kind of slicing it like a guillotine. Because I want to make sure the one is totally locked down before I go messing with the other. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, just get some more glue down. Hold that front down for just a second. Doesn't take long. When this stuff is this thin, it really kind of, it almost melts it. Well, it does melt it. That's what the glue does. Okay, now I'm going to get this tape off of here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just make sure I get good capillary action all the way down the entire strip, like where that tape was. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Now we're done with one. So I got to get back to getting this other one concentric. My eye's fooling me, though. It keeps looking like it's good, but according to the measurement, I'm off by about a 1/16. Okay, just take it all the way off. All right, now. I'm still off. I'm off even more now. Just bear with me while I do this. Oh, Kevin, you got all the wrong or all the right ideas. Because yeah, that would have definitely worked, huh? Crap. Hang on a second. Think you're onto something. This is definitely raw video for sure, isn't it, guys? Okay, so how far apart do I want to make that? That's the question. Gonna have to cut that tape is too wide. hang on a second here. I'm going to have to cut this. So, get an approximate here. Okay, let me work on it. Let's say 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. But that's going to probably just put me off. You know what? That measurement ain't going to work. Ken's just making it too hard on himself. Okay, that looks good. 3/8. All right, I got it. I got it. Okay, so get some glue down both sides of this thing. Let that set up for a second. Good suggestion, Johnny, but I think I got it. Okay. Give me a nice little cut back here. Nope, I better wait for that to cure up a little bit. Get some more glue up front here. Just hold my breath for a little while. DOT. What's that mean, Kevin? DOT. I don't know. Something tells me Johnny's going to be legendary, but you can't use that name because that's already taken up. Okay, this is where I gotta learn to be patient. I'm just gonna hold it there and let that cure up a little bit. Okay, let's see what Rob's saying. I'm kit bashing a 69 XL with a 70 Galaxy 500 to create a 70 Galaxy XL convertible used in a certain movie. Interesting. I don't know. This one here is based off of nothing. I just kind of made up that story. And it sounded like a plausible story. Okay, so I got that top one trimmed off. Now I'm going to trim off this back one. There we go. Now I can glue the rest of that down. Should be able to pull my tape now. Okay. So there you go. I just got to sand that down. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to finish scrubbing my door panels and whatnot. Too many from Ohio. Who's all from Ohio? I know Kevin and I are. Yeah, Wings, Wheels, and Ways is moving back to Ohio, but I guess he's not going to have a store. He's just going to work from his house. I think he was in either Massillon or something like that when he was here before. I wasn't building models when he was here in Ohio. I'm slowly steering away from their paint still. I mean, I have a considerable arsenal of his colors, which I love and I'm going to use up. But I'm probably going to just start morphing over to Kaleido full time, only because of its, no fumes. Because I was vented outside the other day with my paste booth, had my little door open and my exhaust running out the door, and I was shooting Mr. Surfacer primer, and I still stunk up the house even with that booth running and venting outside. So it tells me that even if I'm venting really good outside, unless you have a hood over top of everything where you're working, the booth isn't going to get it all. It ain't going to exhaust all your odors out. You would need like a giant hood. No, Brad, I haven't opened any panels yet. This is how you do it, though. You would just keep on scoring. But I met Doug White at the NNLE show. I'm pretty much sure you guys all know who Doug White is, the Model Car Muse, or I think that's what his channel's called. And he did a good tutorial on how you make a trunk hinge. And when I met him at the show, I was telling him that I really appreciated that video. And I said, I haven't done it yet, but I want to open the doors and trunks on my cars. And he told me he's coming out with a new one for the doors. You just use a wire and tubing, like brass wire, brass tubing or something. And I do know the trick he does is you get that in place first. and then you cut out. That way you're aligned, you know, because you're perfectly aligned right now. So what he's doing is you install all those hinges and get them glued into place, and then you cut your panels open, and then you just have, you know, there's no question that you're lined up. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Doug's a good builder, all right. Nice guy too. His wife gets into it too. She's like the producer of his channel, his videos. So here's like a little piece of trim. I should probably be using tape here, because this is just not pronounced enough. I can tell that running a razor blade later with my foil would be a little tricky. There you go. It's getting a groove now. There you go. I don't even know where I got this thing. I've had this, it was in my toolbox. But it's got a nice, it kind of reminds me of what that Tamiya scrabber looks like with that little hook pull. I've also got this one here that I got on Amazon. Get your model on. Yeah, okay, Massillon, that's where he was. Too bad he's not going to have a store, because that's close enough to go to. You know, as far as I'm concerned, these old screw bottom kits, as long as they got a nice body, and this body's very clean. Very clean. I saw, you know, not much work needed done on this. Ouch. I just went off track. Not paying enough attention. Because I'm kind of like Matt Hickey, who's a great builder from Matt's Model and More. Matt's Models and More. He's one example where, you know, he just kind of picks a theme and a look. And Irv Arter, I think, is another one where the whole entire model don't need to be detailed out, like your engine compartment doesn't have to be realistic or whatever. Another one is Sean Svensson. That's probably the best one that I could use for an example. He's kind of just going for a certain theme or look. So he doesn't even care. I mean, some of his cars may not even have engines. And he's won trophies and everything for several of his models. Best of show and stuff. Because he just had an imagination for a certain look. What's your tip? I use the illusions. I use the illusion that the door is actually open. You just mean by having deep panel lines? Because that's kind of what I do too, if that's what you mean. Because if you can get these nice and deep and you use panel liner on them, they definitely look good. Okay. I'm just messing around with this panel lining while I'm waiting for that roof to finish setting up. And then I can start sanding down that. Your other tip, higher up in the chat. Hold on. Yeah, I got it. I don't know if it's the same stuff you call it, but this is for guiding. I don't know why they made it clear. That's my only peep about it, but it's kind of thick, and it does guide your blade. I got that when you told me about, like if I want to take this little strip right down the middle here and bare metal foil that very narrow strip. I bought that tape on your suggestion, or even if that wasn't that particular brand. And that helped me tremendously because, yeah, that gives you something to guide your blade on. That's why they call you a Sensi. Like these little guys, too. I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. It comes in 3 different colors and 3 different grits. But they're nice for getting like little areas like this little mold line that's right there on top of the door. I don't know what this stuff's made of. It feels sort of like soapstone or something. I know they're brittle, like if you drop it, you can break it. Okay, so we are glued down on top here. So I'm going to take, I think this is 800 here. And I'm going to probably shave down about half the thickness for that seam. Because right now it's too tall. Now, like over here where I'm going to bare metal foil and stuff, it's perfect. But for this seam on the roof, it has to be sanded down and brought down to scale. Yeah, I was when my wife called me up for dinner, she made me a pot roast. It's Mother's Day, for crying out loud. And she got up early and had a pot roast going just for me. It's like it's not Father's Day, it's Mother's Day, but because she's definitely like my mother. She takes care of me. I'll make up for it though. I'll get her out. I'll take her out. Yep, I'm just smoothing this down. I don't want to get too aggressive. I mean, I always start out with something fine and work my way back. If I scale model muse, yep, I think that's right. Then there's that girl who has a channel called the what's her channel? The Modeling Muse or something? The one everybody's confusing with Doug's. Linda from the Modeling Chick was on earlier when I did a live of this. It's the first time I ever conversed with her. Because that was the name I recommended to Natalie Prue when we were talking about her possibly starting her own channel. And then I realized that that actual name is used already by Linda, the Modeling Chick. And the reason I thought of it is during my live stream with Natalie, she just kept referring to herself as a chick. Yeah, so 800 is taking that down nice and just about right to scale. That way you're just creeping up on it instead of getting too aggressive. I ain't got nowhere to be. But anyways, when Debbie called me up for dinner earlier, I said I was down in the basement talking to like 20 of my friends while I was building. I'm doing it again. Okay, so I get that smoothed down, and then right here where, that's actually more pronounced than the windshield trim's going to be. So I have to definitely sand that down and taper it, because you don't want your seam in your vinyl to be even thicker than your windshield trim. Try this. Actually, I need to cut that back a little bit too. There we go. One of these days, I am going to cut open my main artery in my leg, because this is a scalpel. Super sharp. And when I knock it off my bench, it bounces off my thigh. So if it lands this way, it's going to cut through something. So I'm just kind of shaving that down to a taper right there. And then back to wet sanding. Yeah, that blade is weird. It's different than a regular number 11. Excuse me. What I do is I grab it with these needle nose and then slide it into place, because it has this long slit right here. You know, this part that's sticking out is part of the handle, and the blade has that slot in there. So I will take needle nose and I'll slide that into place until it snaps in right over here. Now, I believe I've seen somebody who actually cut this end off over here and actually fit that into their X-Acto blade holder. I'm not sure, but I like this. Although I do prefer a round handle, because when you're doing bare metal foil around circles, it just feels easier to spin this needle than it does this flat thing, but I got the hang of it. Hey, Mikey, you're back. I decided to have another go at it today. What did I do? I just had my final live show the other day saying, you know, hey, guys, I just need to take a break. And then all of a sudden, within 2 days, I've done 2 lives in a day. But this kind of live is totally different. Kevin and I were just having a conversation the other day, because I was telling him that, you know, some of these live streams where the guy just sits there and looks at the screen reading comments and not actually doing something, I thought was a little bit boring. I'm doing the exact same thing, really, but I'm actually building or doing something. I just feel like there's a little more substance to it. But I know that just being in the chat sometimes is sort of a social thing where it doesn't matter what's going on screen. It gives you guys a, you know, you could have your own thing. There was a time where I was doing one of these live streams and I had a problem or something. I'm talking to you guys and I roll back and the whole chat was a totally different conversation. Like nobody was even listening to me. Hey, Dan, welcome. Just watch my video. Oh, thanks. What do you guys think of the wheels on that thing, though? I don't like them. I think they are so ugly. It's not my thing. I'm thinking about changing them out. I mean, you know, it fits with the whole interpretation of a modern custom build, but I don't know. I just don't like them. Those rubber band tires or whatever they call them. Yeah, Kevin, I like your fret guitar fret thing. It looked really good on that Cadillac hood, and that actually solved the problem for you, right? Because you had warpage and that had structure, so that pulled your hood straight. That's what's cool about, either hanging out with modelers or just knowing modelers as friends, because you learn those tips. I mean, we all experiment at home and come up with our own little ways of doing things, and some of them are just outstanding ideas. So, Kevin, have you gotten any closer to starting your club? I just wish you weren't so far away, because I would not mind being in a model club, but my night vision is horrible, and that's a 2-hour round trip to Akron, so I just know I wouldn't want to do it. Vision's bad enough, and then if it's raining or something, it's worse. It's a bitch getting old. Big wheel, small tires, circle, and slash. Yeah, I get you, Ron. Yeah. The other thing I don't like is what are they called, donk or something like that. People will do that. Like a car like this, they'll put like 26-inch wheels on it, maybe 30s even. They look like wagon wheels. Oh my God, is that hideous? It's kind of popular here on the south side of Youngstown. Didn't that IPA Fort Wayne? Didn't that already happen, or is it this month? Yeah, I'm not planning on going this time, but I thought it already happened. Yeah, I think I'm gonna redo that Roadster, the wheels. The only problem is once you've super glued on the resin, like on a model like this, if you got something super glued, you can give it a big good snap and it'll generally pop and break off. Yeah, donk. Yeah, that's a weird one there. But with resin, the bond is just so much stronger and instantaneous. Like I have a love-hate relationship with CA glue, because it's better than, well, you can't use model glue if you're working with paint to paint to paint unless you scrape and all that stuff. But it seems like when I want a little bit of dwell time to be able to move or reposition something, then CA glue is instantaneous. And yet, if I have something that's like, okay, I can't hold my breath long enough, I want this thing to set right now, then it takes forever. It just feels that way to me. I have Instaset, but you need a third hand sometimes to reach for that Instaset. So what do, Kevin? You scrape your painted stuff on the bottom side, or although I am liking this new resin glue. I was using regular UV resin and tried to glue with it, but it didn't hold very good. But this UV resin glue, I got it on Amazon, and it comes with a little UV flashlight. But this is bonding really pretty good. On that 32, I used it a lot. If you watch that video, you'll see the little light in action there. It seems better than just a regular UV resin as far as a binder. All right, so I'm just kind of detailing this out. When I woke up this morning, I was going to get on this, and I thought I would get all the way through primer and everything, but I really procrastinated for quite a while. And then it took me quite a while to figure out that stance. I went through a whole drawer that I have of spare tires and wheels before I found and settled on these. And those are just kit wheels. I can't remember what kit they're out of, but I like the Goodyear tires because it's pad printed tires there. But I have 3D Kragers and BF Goodrich, and I tried them too, but just the kit wheels are going to work well on this model. I'm probably going to tone that chrome down a little bit, though. I'm thinking about spraying some black Kaleido candy. It would be the equivalent of like the smoke from Tamiya, to just tint my chrome down a little bit, kind of make it look more like a black chrome. Okay, Wednesday or Saturday, once a month. Now, see, Saturday, it could be daytime. Hi, Mike. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the top here, because like I said, MCW does sell a textured brown vinyl top. I have textured black still, probably enough to do this model. So I suppose I could spray that on there and then just color the texture. Or just mix some craft paint and go a little thick. Or even if I use the same paint that I'm going to use on the car and just hold the airbrush way back and cause it to just paint dry. Hello, Curb 9170. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, usually Sunday afternoons I tune in to Jason Hanscom and his friends for Sunday afternoon builds, but they didn't do a show today, so I'm doing 2 shows in place. Yeah, so that's looking good. So probably shaving that down to about halfway, and then it's a little bit tapered here in the front. I think I still need to taper that back a little bit further. Let's see, I need a different tool. So here I've taken some 800 and super glued it to a stick. And this is great for like block sanding and stuff. But I think I'm going to work on that taper a little bit here. Embossing powder. Maybe. I know the powder that I'm using wouldn't work. It's too fluffy. But I'm not really using model car embossing powder. I'm using model railroad snow. Only because I have a big jar of it. I'll never use it up. But that's what I've been doing my carpets with. But it's just a little too fluffy. It's white, so I'll glue it down, and then I'll paint it, and it works good for the carpet. Kind of looks like a deep pile carpet. I rarely use that unless it's a convertible or something, though, because I don't know why all those guys go through the trouble of doing carpet when you can't see it in half these cars. But I appreciate the detail of it, the fact that you're detailing it. Return the Jedi. Yeah, I know. Those guys are old, huh? Died, yeah. He was probably in his 70s or 80s, right? Okay. Get back here and do a little more sanding work here. This side here I really boogered up because I glued down that strip and it just wasn't right. And I peeled it back up and sanded and redid it. It looks a little hacked, but I think because I'm going to be spraying texture down there, it'll probably hide most of that. I don't know. I'm going to go with the candy, but I do have other browns, and I think anything would look nice on this car, but that candy just came out so nice. Where's that spoon? I just think that's going to look really good. There was an emblem right here on this C-pillar that was not very pronounced. So I need to sand that off. Because by the time I texture paint the roof, it'd be nothing but a little bump there. If it was more pronounced, I would be doing bare metal foil under the paint there. Okay. All right, I'm going to need to do some more scribe work on this front windshield. You haven't tried the masking tape. I think it would work. I think you guys are using this blue tape because it's kind of textured, right? Let's just see how that scales. So what do? Do you burnish that down and then cut it with your number 11? I just want to get an idea. Yeah, see, you couldn't cut that with the number 11 because it would be hard to see. No, Kevin, we're not doing a show next Friday. June 11th, I am though, with Locust Skill Models, Bill Beers. Okay, so I guess to me is what's your trick if you're using the blue tape, because I can't see where. I guess if you burnish it down, that's it. I'm using like the end of my finger now. All right, hold on. Let me try something. I probably need a new scalpel blade in here. I'm just experimenting on the fly. Just trying to get a feel for what that would look like. Okay, so yeah, you can cut kind of close. Yeah, you know, that does scale pretty good, doesn't it? The only thing is, now that I did this strip, see how that looks. Because I know you can overlap that tape. Okay, so there you go. If I just burnish that tape over there, what do you think? I'd have to sand that strip down more, I think. I don't know. I may be tempted to do that. Yeah, burnish the trim down. I see that. I got the feel for that now. Yeah, Steven, I could probably go 3 hours if if this is all I'm doing because there's no work to this. Yeah, I don't know. That's tempting because I can see the texture there. I mean, I've seen these at shows with the tape, and I've seen videos of it, and I'm pretty impressed. I always thought that the first time I did it, I would be doing it on a patina build, because I've also seen where they use the tape and then they tatter it by cutting little slits in it like this, and you know, distressing it, which is a pretty darn cool thing too. All right, so I may be using the tape idea, because then you can just lay your paint on fairly smooth. In fact, you would want it on smooth at that point, and then just put a matte finish on it, or a semi-gloss finish. Okay, I can see that. I may try it. Somebody said that they were afraid to do it because they didn't know how long it would last and hold, but I don't see why that would give up. Unless you like kept it stored in your garage where it got to be 110 degrees or something. Okay, yeah. Yep, I think I'm going to try the tape because it's time I experiment with that. That way I'll know if I like it. Because I liked my paint method. I like the textured paint idea. But I love learning new techniques because they may not work for every application, but there's going to be times where they are just the right idea. Like I've always, I think about the tape idea too. It's a cool way to distress interior upholstery too. Again, if you're doing a rat rod or a barn find, you know, I mean, I've seen guys that really make that look real. They even got exposed springs in their upholstery, but that's like, wow, that's over the top. But if you just were to tear the upholstery with some masking tape and distress it a little bit, that looks pretty cool too. All right, so I just got to sand that emblem down a little bit more. But I think that's going to work for vinyl top. Hey, Bill, you're back? Yeah, I'm working on tapering those edges down. Now that I think I'm going to go with the tape idea, I need to take this down a little bit further. So let me get some more aggressive sandpaper here. See what I got available. I think just a brand new piece of 800 will work. So, Bill, you're going to come up and see the Big Boy 4014 in Struthers in July? Drive up here to Youngstown. Do lunch or something together. Yeah, my wife caught that. I heard they were doing an Eastern excursion. We're talking about that big locomotive, the big boy. It's going to pass through Struthers, Ohio in July. Actually going to stop here. So that's a suburb of Youngstown. Okay, where was I going with this? Okay, yeah, top. See, I save all my old sandpaper, so I think I probably wasn't getting very far because it was kind of worn down. So here's a brand new, fresh 800. Yeah, Kelly Pavlik Slugo, and way back in my day was Boom Boom Mancini. Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Just a couple years younger than me. He was like the lightweight champion, I think. But Kelly Pavlik, yeah. In fact, Kelly, I don't know if it's still there. He had a bar down in Struthers. I don't know if it's still there. Because I believe he still lives here. So that is two boxing champions from our hometown here in Youngstown. A couple more people. Let's see. The guy from Married with Children, Al Bundy, is from Youngstown, Ohio. Went to school here. The McHale's Navy, the captain, or the captain, the big guy, the big boss. I can't remember his name. Joe Flynn, I think. He's a Youngstown native. Then Ken Melissa, the model building and retirement guy, is from Youngstown. All kinds of stars come from here. Yeah, Al Bundy. What's his real name? I can't remember right off the top of my head, but he's from here. He's still involved in the community too. Okay, what do I do with that? Hollywood Ken. No, it wasn't Ernest Borgnine. It was Joe Flynn, I think his name was. He was the captain, Captain Binghamton, I think. Wore the glasses. The one where Tim Conway reported to him. Tim was his side guy. Joe Flynn, I think that was his name. Ed O'Neill, yeah. That's who it is. Thank you. Okay, so I guess for taping down this, or sanding down this seam, since I'm going to use the sandpaper, or the tape, I can use that as a gauge. Now the question is do I just lay that down like that all the way across, or do I need to cut and overlap an edge? See, if I knew I was going to do the tape first, I wouldn't have done the styrene. I would have used tape overlapping. What do you guys think? Is that what you do? Do you think that's enough right there? I think it works for me. Because at 1/25th scale, I don't think you would actually see the cut line between that vinyl anyways. Bingo. So Bill, that's right. You say that's good? Like that? I like it. Okay, so that one I think sanded down good. This one I got to take down some more. Well, John, it's not, you don't have to do it. I just looking for an opinion of what looks right. But you're probably too young. Too young for vinyl tops. I don't know. They were a big thing back in the day, weren't they? So I'm using the tape as my guide on when it looks right. But at this point, I can still go either way. I can still go with the textured paint, or I can go with the tape. So I guess there's no harm in trying the tape. I mean, if I don't like it, you just peel it off and start over with the paint. So I think it's worth trying. "38 people here. Come on, people, get in the chat. Join in with us." Because when I was doing my live show, it was really hard because if I had a guest on, I would see some really interesting comments and want to respond to you guys. But at the same time, my guest was speaking and I didn't want to be rude and cut them off. Sometimes they were a little long-winded, and I just couldn't hold that comment up forever. But like when I'm doing this, it's fun because I can just keep looking over the screen and chit chat with you guys. So join in on the conversation. Let's talk. Keep me company. Yeah, I remember the puffy vinyl tops too. I wasn't a fan of them. They were like on some of the pimp rods and stuff. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with. I need to knock this one out just a little bit here. Landell tops, yeah. Yeah, they looked okay on the Monte Carlo. Did you ever see the one on the 71 Fastback Mustang? I thought that was hideous. It wasn't on the Mach 1 version, but it was on the. You can get a Fastback with like a little vinyl top. I thought that was kind of ugly. And then Mopar, I know there's a lot of builders that are mimicking that flower top or whatever. I forget what they called that, but Mopar put out a few cars that had that really flowery looking vinyl top. And I can get it being a model builder just wanting to like recreate something, but in my opinion, I think those are ugly. Regular vinyl top, yeah, but that flower top, just it doesn't work for me. Mod top, yeah, that was it. Yep, I agree. I don't think that was a good look. I would have never ordered one like that. Okay, I'm really pleased with that. So that's two things I accomplished today, was getting the stance down. For anybody who hasn't seen it yet, this is the stance that it's going to have. And then I just put this trim on that you see, the one along the belt line and the one that wraps around the back window. I just put that on. Now I'm down to just cleaning up whatever's left on flash-wise here on the car. And then I got to wash it all down. I should have washed it first. I've never had a problem though. People say that you should wash it before you even start sanding because you might be sanding oil into the paint or the plastic. I guess that makes sense, but I keep forgetting to do that. But you certainly, with all the sanding and stuff, I've got to wash it regardless of whether there's any mold release or anything. It's just that, all the sanding residue has got to come off too, so. Hey, Glenn, welcome. Okay. So to recap, I've done this strip here, and then I wrapped all the way around here. Inside the cell panel here will be paint, and the vinyl goes on this side of the trim, and then this will be bare metal foiled. Make sure I'm not interfering with where I'm going to foil. Make sure that doesn't intersect and get in the way. Rob says, if you don't think you need to wash the body before painting, handle a body molded in black and see what's on your fingers. Yeah, yeah, got a point there. Yes, Lugo, this theme, I've kind of said it throughout, but I'll kind of repeat it once in a while. My theme of this car, it's going to be painted with this candy brown with a brown vinyl top and probably a brownish interior, and it's just going to be very classy looking car. And the whole theme is, this was Grandpa's car that he babied and waxed every Saturday for the first 6 years that he owned it. But he's finally upgrading to a new 75 LTD. So he gifted this to his grandson, who just started driving or graduating from high school. So the grandson is going to do the first thing that I would have done, and that was get some wheels on there and air shocks and an engine dress-up kit. First things that I would have done to this car, if I was so lucky to have a grandpa that could do that. I had to pay for my own ticket. I certainly don't hold or resent anybody who was lucky enough for their parents to buy them a car or a relative or something, but not in my family. Nobody was rich enough. But you know what? I think that set me straight right from the beginning, where I was never privileged. So I take care of my stuff. Like, I knew a kid in the neighborhood who his parents bought him all kinds of cars. He beat the living crap out of them. I mean, yeah, I would hammer mine a bit, but this guy, he would take the cars off-road and do all kinds of crazy things. He just didn't understand the value of a dollar. Ken needs to build one for you, huh, Kevin? I want to see your build. I'm very anxious to watch that 58 come along. I want to see the legend in action. So Kevin, just curious, you sent that chrome out to be plated for that 58. So do you do all the prep work? You get it perfect to where they're going to just handle the plating, or do they do all the prep work and polishing for you? And then in either case, what's something like that cost? Okay, so I'm going to cut me some brand new, if I can find it. A brand new piece of 5,000 Trizac, and just going to go over the entire body. I love this stuff, but I can't find a cheap source for it yet. This Trizac sands so smoothly, but the only thing about it is, like, it's not good for block sanding because it's just too foamy and flexible. So it sands extremely smooth. But like if you have a little dust narb in your paint or something, this will not be the best fix for that. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the entire body. $35 per part tree. That's not bad. Yep, so you primer, polish, and mount the parts. So how do you mount them? You have to like melt styrene and stuff, or glue them to a tree. How do you do that? Hang on, Kevin. I'm going to send you an invite. Texting that to you. Stand by. Hang on. Okay, Kevin. Just sent you a link. Yeah. Be dressed this time. Not like last time. Oh, too funny. We'll get all the tips from the horse's mouth here. Of course, he's not the only one. I could bring on quite a few of you guys. Bill's been really awesome with the comments and help and suggestions today. Yeah, aim your camera down your nose, not up your nose. I have to give Kevin camera etiquette lessons every time. No one told me how to be dressed for a live stream. Only from your shirt up. That's all I ever wore on those live streams. I just had boxers on and, and a shirt. I really had fun doing that, man. But it's a lot of work. A lot of work processing the pictures that everybody would send me so I can turn them into slideshows. Just kind of prepping, getting everything ready, doing a rehearsal with the guest, and just making sure everything was ready on Friday night. I really enjoyed the process, but yeah, it takes a lot. But I'll get back on it. When the weather's cold and gray and there's nothing better to do, might as well be doing live streams. I met so many cool builders and, made so many friends. Now, see, this was an open box kit. I don't know how long it sat around. It was kind of dirty. In fact, it looks like there was some kit bashing going on inside the box because there are part trees to other models in there. But I got it really cheap. Guy at a hobby store in Indiana. When I was visiting my brother, he had just picked up a bunch of stuff from an estate sale, so he let me kind of go through it. So I paid like $15 for this, which I suppose Hobby Lobby, probably with the 40% off sale, it's probably close to that too, I imagine, if they got it. Even Deaf Guy Johnny. Not sure what comment. Hold on. Johnny, what did I make you laugh about? I gotta roll back to comments here. Oh, the camera up the nose. See, Kevin's been gone for a while getting ready, so yeah, he probably is putting his pants on. Anybody going to the Three Rivers car show? Bill, you going to that? May 17th near Pittsburgh? Yeah, nothing wrong with homemade paint stands and stuff. I was using that for all my little my skewers. I was using them. I drilled a bunch of holes in the 2x4 blocks for my skewers, but then when I was at Hobby Lobby one day, found these in the flower arrangement department, pack of 6 for like $5, and these are about ready to replace, but they work really good. I mean, you could just stick your little skewers in there and, like so. And they don't make a mess like regular styrofoam. They don't really make a mess in your booth. Come on, Kev. Kevin's probably putting cologne on, not realizing that you ain't gonna know the difference. Number 1 also. I never heard of you. Do I know you? Welcome, though. You're certainly welcome to join the chats here. Yeah, absolutely. Think that's funny, right, Justin? uh, Kevin's a good sport, though. I love picking on him and playing, messing with him. The legendary guy. I don't know if he'll ever forgive me for that either. Well, this is probably going to be the best sanded body I've ever had because at this point I'm really probably just killing time for the live stream. I thought about putting a hood scoop on there and stuff, but I don't know. I think that's probably a bit much for a kid who got the car from Grandpa. I think just the stance and the wheels is about the right way to go. You know, I could certainly put a hood scoop in a, and this kit comes with a 428 engine, so it would have plenty of power. But this is just going to be one of those fun builds. I'm not even going to do this on my channel. I mean, I might do the reveal and talk about it, but for example, I can't show how to do this because I'm doing it here live, which means that I can't be recording my camera. Well, I guess I can. Yeah, I guess the show is being recorded to YouTube, so I can pull that video off and cut it up and use it. But I think I'm going to take a break from doing a how-to because it's a simple kit, and I've already done a how to do a vinyl top video. So this would, if I went into any detail on a video about that, it's something I've already done. There he is, Hang. I see Kevin. Hold on, let me get my earphones on so I can hear you. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, buddy?
Yep.
Okay. Got your clone on?
I'll have to multitask. I got to feed the kids. The little fur babies are hungry.
Yeah, I seen them, cute little rascals. Are those ankle biters?
Oh,
Those
yeah.
little doggies? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, I got to decide what they're going to eat. What do you want to eat, buddy? Huh? What do you want to eat? Everybody looking at you?
So it's about to get real, folks. We're going to learn some shit now.
Oh, yeah, right. I had to go out and get her flowers brought in, but it's getting pretty cold here. We just bought flowers. I don't want them getting frostbitten.
You had to ask on another chat, does anybody have any old popular hot rodding magazine show rods by Eldon and Duuja? I don't even know. I don't know what you're talking about there, sir. But it's up there, just in case somebody in the chat knows the answer to that. It's
trying to figure out how to get my screen up where I can see what's going on in case I got to look at something. If I put my phone this way, I can see it. Guess we'll leave it that way.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. You starting that build after the one you did for me on the 65, because that was my second car I owned. That's what was so funny about it. The one you're doing is almost the same color my car was.
So, Rob, yeah, as far as YouTube strikes for reuse of content, I would be okay for that because it would be all cut up and re-narrated because I wouldn't be just rambling like this, and I would cut that down into only seconds or whatever, or probably less than a minute, where it was a 2 hour live stream. So I wouldn't be getting struck on that one.
Let me get my power chair put away and I'll be right back.
But it is a peeve of mine, the people that are making money just by letting AI do their shows. They put no effort whatsoever, and I know that YouTube's trying to track down on that, but you know, because if I make an hour-long build video, first of all, I had to have that camera.
And
I had to have that camera positioned correctly at all times, so that slows you down. But then once I'm all done, I got a considerable amount of editing to make that all, watchable. And you do all that, and you edit it, and then of course I do my little green screen fun, and I put it out there. And those videos, a good video, a good build video or something, maybe makes $50 in the first couple weeks. And of course it dies off after that. Your videos will continue to make money as long as people watch them, but it only pays out by the thousands of views. So, as the videos get older, unless there's a rebirth of it in some way, shape, or form, if 10 people only watched it, I maybe get 10 cents or something like that.
yeah, I got a taste of trying to work on camera last night on Brian's Live. I probably wasn't even in sight of the camera half the time.
Building, you mean? That is really hard. Like I have this new camera mount that you're viewing right now, and it's it only has a certain field of view, and you're trying to work, and I'm trying to work in front of my glass and stuff, and just I'll occasionally look over, and when I look over, I guess I probably move the model into the view and think, okay, I'm good. But then when I go to edit after I've done a lot of work, it's like half the stuff was outside the camera field.
Oh, don't start crying. You're going to eat in a minute here. You're going to eat my leg off?
So we got a new show, folks. This is called Cooking with Kevin.
It's called dog food. Probably better than what I cook.
Here, let me make you big. Let you just take over a star of the show here.
Yeah. Big whoop you. I'm
Ladies and
opening up
gentlemen,
dog food.
Cooking with Kevin.
It's probably better than my steaks. Everybody's always ragging me about my well done steaks.
I don't know. I was talking about the videos, though, guys. Like I did one a long time ago. It was acrylics versus lacquer and enamels. It was one of the first ones I did, and on that video, it was before Kaleido existed, and I was using Createx as my guide. And that video was shot almost a year ago. And over time, it's actually made some money. I think that's made like $375 just for that video.
Not bad.
Now, unfortunately, the one that made me actually get the viewers up front and got started with the channel was my 4-part paint series. But what happened is I wasn't eligible for ad revenue yet until that hit. And once it hit, the majority of views have happened. So like those don't pay out. The ones that got me known, I've made almost zero money on. But I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I think what made you famous is the Star Trek teleporter. Too bad it don't work.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Works for you, but I'd be able to go to Three Rivers if it worked.
I guess I'm lucky that we're empty nesters and there's no, kids running around here and we don't have a lot of guests because setting up that green screen would be a royal pain. I probably wouldn't be doing it, but I
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of left it set up down there in the corner of the basement. What the heck? It's just there. And if I need to shoot something, it's all lit up and ready. I just turn all the lights on and pose myself, and
Yeah.
it made that chore a lot easier. Yeah, boy, that looks as good as what I ate. No, not
Filet,
today. I had pot roast, so no, not absolutely not. But yesterday's meal, yeah.
filet mignon dog food. Probably horse meat.
You know what, Dan? Yeah, you can paint your walls green. Yeah.
I just hope Tom ain't watching this because I don't want him to see this building. I told him he's not going to see any more till it's done. So I just hope he's not watching. I kind of gave him a couple teasers today earlier, and he's like, "Man, you're mean."
Well, I think the chances of him watching me is probably slim.
I don't know. He watches you quite a bit.
Well, does he?
Yeah.
I appreciate
I just
that.
I just hope his wife didn't hear what he paid me. That's what he's got to worry about. He told her it was $50. I don't think she believes that.
So now I can't remember what when I invited you in here is because I was asking you something,
Yeah, let me put their
and I
food
can't
down.
remember what I was asking you.
Let me put their food down and I'll flip this around. We'll do whatever. Wasn't it something to do with foil or something? I don't know.
Well, Dan, I appreciate that. I don't know if I really say that that I rival a TV broadcast, but
Yeah, that one also that's in the chat. He's from up in Alberta, Canada. He's always on Brian's live in the chat.
ah,
Yeah. He's up around the same area as Cold War Motors. I don't know if you ever watched that guy. He takes rusty cars and cuts them apart and makes good cars out of them.
ah, there's so many channels.
Oh no, that's always my Saturday night favorite. I never miss an episode of that guy.
My problem is I've made so many friends, like all the guests that I've had on my channels, so I feel
Yeah,
obligated to be watching their channels.
I
So,
know.
so then it becomes hard to watch all the other people that I don't know yet. you
All
know.
right. I don't know. How do I? I'm trying to figure out how I make my screen full size here. I might end.
But I'll have to sit down and start watching some more channels because when I do resume my lives, I need to get some fresh guests. I mean, I may have a few people back as another guest, but that's kind of like I'm not sure what we would be talking about if we did that. So,
I may have to go to the back camera to show you what's going on here. As soon as he eats, if I get up, he'll quit eating and walk away. So, got a spoiled brat here, right, Coop?
here we go. Okay. So the cooking show's over. I'll put me back on the screen too.
Yeah, I've been outside for the last hour and a half, so it's gonna sound like I got a cold probably.
This weather, it kind of looked nice out there, but it's kind of
Yeah,
chilly. I wasn't
and it
motivated to get out there and do much. So,
it is really cold today.
yeah.
I was in the sun sweating, and all of a sudden the sun went away. Let's see if I could reach this without disturbing him. He's kind of he's kind of a picky eater. Sometimes he'll eat off the plate. Sometimes I gotta scoop it on the floor.
Hello, Carl. Who did I see? I see a brand new name here. Leadhead Custom Plastic. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome. Welcome. Not much of a show here, just kind of impromptu
God.
build, and I wanted some company.
Yeah, I might go to my back camera. Maybe I can show you a little bit what I'm doing here. Oh, I didn't remember how to do this without knocking myself off. Here we go.
Steven, where you at? Washington State or Washington, D.C.?
Of course, it don't want to work. Let's see, back dual camera is usually what I use. There we go.
See you, John.
Yeah, that makes it backwards. You going to bed, Johnny? Let's try that one. No, that's still backwards. Or is it? Maybe it's coming out right on your end. That's ultra wide.
Oh, I see the 58. I see it.
There we go. That's the ultra wide there. It's iPhone 16. Every time I use it, something's changed on it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I got
there you go. Okay, you
some
can
of the
show it now. You got full screen.
I got some of the scribing around the side windows here done.
Okay, Washington State, Stephen. Okay, appreciate it.
Oh, I got my toolbox in there.
So that's a resin cast body, correct?
Yes, yes. I last night I did the roof here, the top of the tailgate where it separates. I had to recreate this line here. It wasn't even there. I had to scribe that. That's where this stuff here comes in handy. You
That's
ever
the
use?
tape you're.
Yeah,
That's the tape.
The Dymo tape. Yeah, it's like you use the label, the old-fashioned label printer where it embosses the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So it's thick enough that it
yeah,
your blade don't jump it.
right. Well, I haven't missed yet with it.
Yeah, this
I
this stuff is made for guiding too, but why they made it clear, I don't know.
yeah, that's kind
But
of
it's
odd.
but it's pretty thick.
Yeah,
So what I do is I'll lay that out and then I'll take a Sharpie and
yeah.
color it darker so I can see.
Well, good thing about this is see like this piece here. I
Yeah.
cut I cut a pattern on masking tape and laid it on that tape, and you can cut it whatever like your curve of your hood. That's the exact same curve of the hood here. And then you make your pattern on tape, lay it on there, cut the tape, and stick it where it goes, and just follow the line. And it's perfect every time.
Okay.
King Bob gave me that tip last Tuesday, I think it was. It's sure making this quick work of this.
So I did my first 3D build. That was that 32.5 window. Uh, it really wasn't the best print in the world. So you probably saw that I had like 5 sessions of sanding and priming. Because
Yep.
I couldn't really putty it because there was tight areas to work in.
Yeah.
So sanding was very difficult.
Yeah.
I made it look okay in the end, but compared to that resin cast, what are the biggest things you got to watch out for on a resin cast?
Air bubbles. You'll be
Air.
scribing along, all of a sudden you'll hit an air pocket.
Oh,
And then, I mean, that'll throw your knife right out of the groove if you hit an air pocket. See, this is, I've had this blade probably since the early 90s. It's the same one I've always used for scribing. It's just the number 11 blade that I've back cut. Originally, I would use break the tip off and use that, but this is even better.
yeah,
And then I use this, see if I can find it here. Yeah, I'll also use a saw blade. It's a photo etch saw blade. I don't know if you can see the teeth on it, but that actually helps you with doing straight lines.
yeah. I just
Because
bought.
I do around the window frames and everything when I scribe one. It might take a few days to do it. Sure makes foiling a lot easier.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna step away for a second. I just bought some stuff from MVC. Is that it? Matthew, 3D
Uh,
guy. I want to try some of his stuff. Hold on a second.
Matthew Inman. Yeah, he's got some nice stuff. My next 3 projects are already filled, but someday I'd like to try a 3D body. Wasn't impressed with the first one I had.
Yeah, I'm sorry, MCV products.
Yeah.
I knew that. It was just slipped my head.
Yeah, that's Matthew
Thanks,
Inman,
Chad.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, let me put it in front of the camera. So I bought this here. It's like a little serrated knife
Yeah.
because I do want to start opening some doors and panels, and I thought that might help a little bit. I'm not
Oh
sure if
yeah.
that's the right application or not. So I bought that from him.
Yeah, you'll find it handy. I've
But I
had
bought
that
some other stuff. Even though
I've
I
had
have
that
my own
saw blade
sponsor.
forever.
So what do I got here? I have some, what do you call it? Photo etch too, but this is 3D printed seatbelt parts.
Oh.
Although I prefer the photo etch better because this stuff is so fragile.
Oh yeah.
It's so easy to break those. Way
Yeah.
way too easy. I'll probably break half of those trying to use them.
Yeah,
But they give you some ribbon and stuff with it too.
I
But
have
I prefer the photo etch.
I have zero experience with the 3D parts so far.
And then I like some models you have the separately applied door handles or whatnot, but I've lost a couple in the shows. So like this is like a selection of a couple. I wish there was a lot more in it though. I forget what I paid for this, but I think it was like $5. But
That's what I need for this. I need 4 door handles. I hate to rob them out of kits.
yeah, well, yeah, you can get those from Matthew or even my
Oh,
sponsor I think has them. What else did I buy from him?
that's one of the holdups of sending this chrome stuff out to be plated.
I've been wanting this. I only got 2 of them, but these are electrical electric ignition module boxes.
Like MSD or something.
Yeah.
Huh, cool.
Yeah, like when I did that USAC Camaro, I got that whole harness and stuff, and I just kind of just stuck it into the firewall because I didn't have anything like this to use.
Yeah.
But now that I have it, I could probably paint one up and put that under the hood of that.
Hmm. I think
Good
that's
night,
what you
Carl.
were asking me about is the chrome plating process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so your prep work on that.
Yeah.
So how did you attach them to a? You have to attach them to a tree.
Yeah, they tell you to use it's a glue called goo glue or something like that, but or silicone. But the problem with using silicone, if you get that silicone on your parts, then the chrome won't stick. So I'm going to mount them on the sprue, probably drill and pin them right onto the sprue because this resin you can't use just any glue, and I don't, either that or I'll use epoxy to. You don't want them coming off when they're vacuum plating, that's for sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you could see what I'm holding up in front of the screen now.
Yeah,
But
my
this,
screen's like an inch square.
okay. So this is exhaust dumps where you can like have your exhaust dump out your fender.
Oh, okay,
So you cut
cool.
a hole there, and you can put a plate
Yeah.
there, and then put your tube through it. So I
Oh,
think
that's
that
cool.
that's going to be kind of cool
Oh, yeah.
for something. And then I got what's this? I can see better on my screen than I can with my naked eyes here.
Mm.
Okay, a couple extra distributors because I like these. For if I'm going to wire my own distributors,
Mm-hmm.
these kind here, you can stick your wires or that solder, like 0.3 millimeter solder.
Yeah,
You
you
can
won't have
you
to sit and drill 9 holes
don't
in.
have to drill them,
Yeah.
and they're just slightly larger than the kits anyway, so
Yeah.
it just saves you a lot of work. So I have a couple
Heck
of
yeah.
those.
Yeah, I got to the point where I just drill one big hole and shove all 9 wires in.
Okay, I do have more of those ignition modules.
When I build engine, I'd be 3 months before I build an engine with the builds I got planned.
More distributors.
Oh, I got my
Bryce
camera.
is probably going to wonder why I got more distributors. Bryce is probably going to wonder why I'm buying from somebody else, but hey, I just want to see the quality of the work. More door
Hey,
handles.
yeah, if you don't have what you need.
Yeah. I wasn't real
I
impressed with that body, but he told me that he has fixed his radiator caps here.
yeah, I
Those
know
look those look good on some of those plastic models. That'll dress up a regular radiator really nice by having a nice aluminum cap on there.
I know Jimmy Tester pretty much perfected his print process. He prints his bodies on an angle and it gets rid of that Z shift, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that until I went to shoot primer on it, and when it was all shiny, I could just it developed right away.
When he
Okay.
printed this Olds body for me, there was none of those lines or anything, but the all the details were printed inside the body. That was a bad Colts file, I guess. And it would have cost so much to fix it, we decided to go to the cast resin.
Yeah, Ronnie, I'm looking now at the distributor. Yeah, I guess they do look a little shallow, but they probably easier to drill out than a regular. The only thing is drilling small little resin parts like this. It's real easy for them to just break and chip on
Oh
you
yeah,
too.
they that stuff is so brittle. Now, when I was messing with that resin body, I dropped it from my hands to the counter, and it broke the C pillar on the roof. I thought, man, if that thing's that fragile, I'm not going to do anything else with it.
So this car it's a two-in-one kit, so you can build a drag version or the stock. So I'm obviously going to go stock. And
That's
I'm
that's
thinking a teenager wouldn't have cut that hood open, and
no,
he wouldn't do the velocity stock stacks. So
that's
I
that's
think
the
I'll.
whole that's the whole bummer of those kits where they have that cutout under there. That always shows through your paint, no matter what you do with it.
Yeah,
And I mean, I think that's what stopped me from building mine. I wanted to build a replica of my car. Like we can't figure out how to cut a hole in the hood. Why do we
right,
have to have a groove?
right. And
For
of
a
course,
while
if
there, I was shying away from buying any kits that had that, just for that reason. I guess you could cast resin that or buy a resin hood to replace it.
yeah,
Did, did you check the grill fit on that? Is it pretty good?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's got the hidden headlight grill,
yeah.
so I think that's gonna look real
Yeah.
good with some craft paint in there.
Something a lot of people miss too is that center strip in that grill is actually painted body color. You notice on the box how that's yellow?
Oh
There's
yeah.
a
Okay.
center section of it. There's chrome around the body color. Every build I've seen of that model, people miss that detail.
Let me go find that.
The horizontal bar.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
See that line that runs down the
Yeah.
horizontal? Yeah, that should be the body color.
Okay.
You'll want to know that when you paint your body.
I certainly am not going to sand that though, so I will just paint it, and that'll
Yeah.
paint over really nice. It's just very
Hmm.
easy to chip,
Yeah. Yeah, you
because it doesn't bond real
some
well.
just mask it with some foil
Yep.
and peel it.
Thanks for the tip.
But it'll look like the real car. Now the 70 didn't have that. The
Now, like, see, I'm
70
gonna
Ford.
put like a stock engine in there, but I'm gonna put chrome valve covers and a
Oh
air
yeah.
cleaner. Because a kid's gonna do that too. I know I
Yep.
did.
I not only did that, but I put the chrome air cleaner and flipped the lid upside down to get more air.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You always have to
Little
do
ram
that.
air section.
I had that car for a week and hit a tree with it.
That's funny, like all those things, because a lot of people did that like the day they bought their car. So like,
Man,
why didn't the factory just design them that way?
yeah.
you know.
Well, we were out partying and stuff when I lived in Toledo, and we were all wearing sunglasses. That's when that song come out. I wear my sunglasses at night, and it was getting a little bit too dark. And next thing I know, we're skidding off the road and hit a big oak tree.
Oh boy.
30,000 mile car that I got for $500.
Wow.
That thing was like brand new. Some old man had it. That was in probably 79 or 80. My dad was so upset because he wanted that car for himself. And he seen how much I liked it. He said, well, I guess it's your car.
I sure do miss those days, though. Yeah, I mean, I used to buy $50 winter beaters too. They would be low mileage, but they would be just rusted to beat
Yeah.
hell.
Well,
But
$500 car then was a nice car. My 65 Ford, I paid 1,500 for, which was probably three times what it was worth. But
boy, this cutout on this hood here, man. I mean, they got that very deep.
yeah,
I mean,
I've tried filling that in with styrene and everything else, and it always goes back. Most cars with that in it, I usually end up painting that section of the hood flat black because
yeah.
it always goes through on you. Now with the Kaleido, it might not be as bad. With hot paints and hot primers, it would just eat right through that.
Yeah, a stripe on the hood wouldn't be too outrageous for a teenager.
Yes.
He could have taped that off and bought a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
flat black rattle cans.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm really sticking with that theme. That's the whole. It's going to be what a teenager did with the car.
Yeah, just wait and see how the Kaleido does. Maybe it won't go through with that. I know with the hot paints it does.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's see. I'll be priming. I'm going to be doing silver base, and I'm going to be doing
Mm-hmm.
that, and then I'm going to clear coat. So there's quite a few coats.
Uh-uh.
Does this kid have a single overhead cam engine? No.
Uh-oh.
No, this is factory 69. No, this comes with the 428. I don't even know if it's a Cobra Jet. It's just a 428 V8.
Yeah, the first 69 I had a 302 and the second one had a 390 in it.
One thing I learned is always check your fitment on the hood.
Oh yeah. And then the way the grill goes in could change the hood gap too. Does that have a radiator holding the two fenders together or no? No.
Yeah, up front. Yeah, the radiator support goes in there.
Seems like I had some kind of issue with the grill and I was building a couple other things at the same time and I never got back to it. I have two of those. I wanted to make the regular sedan hood that wasn't the XL, and I would have had to buy the 74 to change the roofs because mine had the formal roof. It wasn't the fastback.
Yeah, it fits nice.
Does it?
And then there's a radiator support of course,
Cool.
that radiator support I'll have to try out too, dry fit that too, because
Yeah.
if it spreads out the fenders,
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be a good looking grill.
I always thought the front end of that car was so cool. And
I
the
thought that
tail
was.
lights. The tail lights are amazing on those cars.
Yeah, they give
Yeah,
you real nice lenses for the tail light.
they kind of resemble the one Jeep they make now. They look like that same type of tail light on a new. I can't remember what Jeep that is.
Yeah, they give you these really nice
Hmm.
lenses. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that lens up with UV resin.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, and the trim around them tail lights is actually anodized aluminum on the real one. If you leave it chrome, it'll look kind of cheesy, maybe. Just depends how real you want it to look, too.
Yep.
Same way with the grill surround. It wasn't really chrome. I think that car still had aluminum grill in it, if I remember right. It wasn't the cheap plastic like the newer cars. Yeah, I probably got.
Oh, Bill, you were asking about the 5 window, if that was single overhead cam. Yeah, I think that one was. I thought you were talking about this Galaxy.
Man, did that thing come out nice. I like that yellow on there.
Oh, thanks. I'm.
Them wheels kind of grow on you after you look at it a bit.
I don't know. They're not growing on me.
No?
The only thing is, I don't know if I can remove them. You know,
Yeah.
when you glue resin, it's pretty permanent.
It would be cool with some baby moons and white walls though. But then it wouldn't be the the oh American graffiti hot rod then if you did that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the fact of why it has those wheels because it's supposed to be the real hip,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
thing. Like that Coyote engine, you know. I mean, that, doesn't look right in there either, but once again, I get it. If I
Well,
had an
that's
old 32, it would not have a Coyote in it. I would have an old school engine in there.
yeah, that's probably based on a roadster shop chassis because the that engine bay wouldn't be that long on a normal 32. It looks like
Right.
they've stretched the area out for that engine.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
All right, I think I've done all the. Well, I should cut this off and fix that, huh? These
Maybe you could
supports.
put maybe you could put your 32 up and I'll put mine up and you'll see the difference between stock and their retro rod.
Yeah, let me go get it. Hang on a second. It's
Same
in
here.
the other room.
I'd say yours is probably nicer than mine. Yeah, I did the same thing with the hood on this one too, using that fret material. You look at the I think yours looks better than mine, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit longer. Now my pink one is boxed up in the garage. I was
Mm.
going to unbox it and put it on my shelf, but then there's that show coming up in like 8 days in Pittsburgh, so
Yeah, this is the
it does look like
three.
it was a little long.
This is a three window one here.
Sweet, that's nice.
The
I like the
Revell.
swooping fenders.
Yeah, I guess I'm weird that way. I prefer the fenders myself.
Yeah, me too.
And suicide doors. This is completely box stock.
Okay, but the pink one I just built, I could have done like the motorcycle fenders, but I chose not to do that on that one
Yeah,
either. But
yeah,
yeah, these wheels. But if I take them off, chances are I'm going to destroy.
yeah. You probably
There's no way
break
to
it.
cut it in there.
Did you super glue them on, or they just push on?
They're super glued,
I thought I seen you glue them.
and the front's even pinned and glued.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll just leave it.
yeah,
Well, what
Yep.
attracted me to the body was it was chopped already. Yeah, I don't have to chop it.
Yeah. I was ecstatic when Revell come out with that kit.
But see, I did a fairly good job of getting that Z shift out of it. Just if you can see the reflections, and here, let me make it big for a second. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I'll have to rewatch on the big screen later. I'm watching a 1 inch square
Oh,
screen here.
yeah. I mean, I got pretty much got rid of that Z shift. It was very pronounced. I was
Chris,
surprised that Primer did it though. It took 5 sessions, but
hmm,
you could see it right here a little bit. There's still a pocket, but I smoothed it out because before there was like 3 or 4 grooves, and now it's sort of like one big
hmm.
groove, so it doesn't look so bad.
I hope he didn't sell a ton of them to people like it.
Yeah, I let him know as soon as I saw it, and he said he had adjusted for that already. And I
Hmm.
was missing a couple parts too, which I wasn't real impressed. I let him know that. I says, perhaps you should do a little QC work.
That's what was disappointing about this model. There was really no bare metal foil for it. There's no place to even use it
Hold on. Hold on there. Make you big.
other than that piece of thread down the center of the hood like the cat, like I did the Cadillac. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, not a
everything
lot of
else
chrome,
is kit. Everything else is kit parts.
but it doesn't need much. It doesn't need chrome either.
No, I don't. It would look silly if you did. Most of those windows had a black rubber thing around them anyway, and the running boards.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
always afraid to take the hood off and end up breaking the, but it, they ain't even wired. It's just, I was so excited to get the kit and get it built, I didn't wire nothing.
Now, did the kid have suicide doors, or did you turn it that
Yeah,
way?
this is all the way it came. This is when they first released this as a new tool back in early 90s, maybe. Maybe it was like 98. It was, I don't remember having one single problem with it. It's a little dirty from being in the showcase for years, but, and that's actually the kit grill too. It's no photo etch.
So I'm not sure how to say your name there, Mister Glav. How do you say that? Glavatavorich?
Good luck.
Anyways, I know I butchered that big time. So it's I either use the back of a hold on, I'll show you. Make me big. I'll scribe it with either the back of a number 11 blade,
Yep,
but
that's
then I
my,
also have
which is my preferred method.
I have this little scriber set that I got on Amazon. So this is like a 0.2 millimeter blade. And what did I do with my other blades? It comes with others, but I haven't used them because those are all a little bit wider. I'm not sure what application they would be, but this works pretty good. And then I happen to have this one that's sort of like a hook razor that I just found in my junk drawer, so I can't tell you where I got it from, other than it was made in China. But this one's kind of nice too because it has a hook and you can kind of pull it. So between all three, and sometimes I use all three. Sometimes one track's better than others.
Yeah, it just depends what plastic you're using. Sometimes plastic acts like it has a grain to it when you're scribing. Anyway,
So I said your name right?
imagine that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even. I know that's probably the 5.0 engine in there. I don't know.
Oh, really, Dan? You think that kit's better than the Tamiya scriber? I'm not sure. This works good for me, but it can jump out of the groove if you're not careful. Where am I
I,
there?
I'm old fashioned. I like my old fashioned blade I've had for years. If I ever lose that, I'm done.
So one peeve though that so many model builders miss is door jams. Not only scribing, but using panel liner and stuff.
Hmm.
It really just helps so much in the realism,
Hmm.
and it's such an easy thing to do. Because even if you can't paint real good, it's stuff like that that just kind of
Oh yeah. Well,
camouflages what you can't do.
well, it's like this grill. All this is India ink that you just put a drop in the corner and it fills the whole line up. You know.
I hate when they got this plastic, really thick plastic, to hold the roof up and not bend the A pillar.
Yeah,
But
I know you gotta.
it's so thick that you got to scribe it or something first, or if you just try to cut into that, you're probably going
Oh
to
yeah.
cut into your plastic.
Yeah, I usually cut them in half first, cut a section out, and then scribe where a little leave a little extra. The days of just grabbing it and yanking it off are done. How many wheels did we ruin that way?
Yeah.
Where they mount to the edge of the wheels? That's another thing I liked about this kit too. They had the wheels mounted from the back edge of the rim instead of it out where you see it.
It's funny, like when I got back into model building, I was telling my wife, I says, I used to build cars as a kid. I was pretty good at it,
Mm.
but I really wasn't. I don't know what I was thinking because I twisted stuff off. I didn't use sprue cutters.
Oh, yeah.
I I didn't even
Paint
sand flashing or body mold lines off. I spray
thumb
canned.
thumbprints on the windows. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I guess for a 14-year-old, I thought I was okay.
yeah. This is probably one of the most trouble-free kits I can remember. Called a shake and bake.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping this one's going to be that way, and I think it is because I pretty much there's not a lot to dry fit, but I had a rubber band around it, and I had the interior dashboard,
Yeah,
everything in there pretty much, and
I'm glad they brought that kit back. I searched for years to find one of those before they re-released it. And a buddy of mine was a collector, and he gave me one. And one of my other buddies that's long past now, he stole the stupid thing out of my collection, and that was the end of our friendship. He's the only guy that was in my shop at that time, and the thing disappeared.
yeah, I can't say that it's a friend if they steal.
Yep.
Yeah, that,
I'd never mentioned his name, especially since he's gone now. But he said it could have been somebody else. I'm like, dude, he was the only one that was at my house at that time.
all right. Gonna score that some more.
Even the one I got from my buddy Al, it had been pre-painted, and I had to strip it. I think I used brake fluid on that, but now I got two extra kits. So
So I got myself into a buddy build. May turn into a group build before it's all over, but
oh yeah,
Mikey at Chester's Model reached out to me because I got that Tamiya Mustang GT4 kit,
oh,
and he has one, so he asked me if I'd be interested in doing a buddy build with him,
that'd be
and
fun.
we got Craig Woods involved with it too, so I know there's at least a three-way going on there, and I think his dad now just ran out and bought one.
Yeah,
So that's kind of, I don't normally do those only, and there's no reason why I don't do them. It's just that I like to be
yeah,
able to randomly pick what I'm in the mood for instead of
yeah,
being committed to building. But that one, it was on my plans to build here shortly anyway, so might as well do it. So that starts in June.
yeah.
It's a
After
curbside.
after this olds, my next plan was going to be the '60 Chevy Nomad, and then I come across another resin cast Astro van, so that's going to be my next one. So I'll have two resins in a row here. And then I'm going to do the B61 Mac that's coming out new, and I think late summer they said the semi.
Kenny, you're
Ooh, I like
asking about the color. So
ooh
this is
nice.
a this is that Tamiya brown candy or brown clear over
Mm.
silver. Kenny K Dog was asking about the color. So
How you doing, Kenny?
that's what
Yeah,
made me
that
pick. That's what made me really pick this car. Is I thought this brown came out gorgeous, but it wouldn't look good on like the hot rod that I just built or anything. I mean,
yeah.
it looks. I think it looks respectful on like the
Oh yeah.
sedan. It's gonna look great.
Yeah, my '73 LTD was that color. I had a long string of LTDs for some reason. I had the 65, the 69, 271s, actually
Yeah.
269s, 271s, a
So you were
73, a 74, a 75. And then when me and my wife met up, we had a 77 four door.
we used to call those boats back in the
Yeah.
day.
My grandmother, when I'd come over with that car, she'd say, Kev, take me for a ride in your LSD. She couldn't, she called it LSD instead of LTD.
That sounds like something my mom would say.
Yeah.
Remember that
I,
guy who was a comedian when we were young called Norm Cosby who butchered the English language?
oh, yeah.
My mom reminds me of him because
Oh,
she said everything wrong. It was
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
But the
that's who,
LSD comment, yeah, that would be typical of my mom.
she's the grandma that introduced me and my wife. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have never met.
Ah.
Yeah, my wife's in there saying, "Head bitch." take her
sometimes
for a
change.
ride in that car, and I'd have to cover the side pipes up with a bath towel so she didn't burn her legs. I'd start that car up. She'd get all excited. It had a pretty good sound with those side pipes.
Yeah, Chet and Dan, for my roof, it's going to be something in the tan or brown family.
Hmm.
I'm a bit colorblind, so I'm going to have Debbie kind of help me when it comes closer to that.
Yeah, I usually have Roxanne pick colors when I did my builds too.
Yeah,
Women are so much better at picking colors.
yeah, I mean, she picks quite a few stuff for me that I look at it and it's like I would have never thought that, but then it works, and I get a lot of compliments. So she knows
I
what she's
learned
talking about.
I learned my lesson when it come to picking wall color choices and stuff here.
Of course,
Women
see,
always can pick the best colors.
I'll put a brown and a blue sock on, and it doesn't matter to me.
I'll give you a good example. When I put this floor in, I picked this color of floor and it's not even close to what it should have been. I got it home. She was like, "Why'd you pick that color?" I said, "Guess because you weren't there."
Yes, that is a thin A pillar. That's probably why they had this big, heavy duty
Oh yeah.
piece on there.
I think the one on mine was broke. The rebuilder was gonna do. Now that has plastic pins instead of screws, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I liked your suggestion about cutting that down the middle first. I see. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
Takes a legendary master builder to know those tricks.
Yeah, I do that when I'm cutting wheels and stuff off the trees too. I'll take a big chunk off the sprue and whittle towards the wheel. Because if you try to just cut right next to the wheel, it always pulls a chunk out.
What I hate is when glass has a big plug like that right
Oh,
up
I
against
know.
the glass, because glass is so brittle. you know.
Oh yeah, I've cracked a few right in half. Usually got a razor saw halfway through and then snap it.
So tell me on that 58 that you're working on, you're out for chrome, but what's holding you up, or what are you working on now? I saw you. I mean, I saw that you're sanding it down and smoothing it out.
Well, right now, well, the chrome hasn't even been sent out. I
Uh,
I got to have door handles, and there's a couple parts I'm missing, and I got to wait till I can get outside and prime before I can send the parts. So they have to be the bumpers and stuff have to be primed and polished before I can send them. 'Cause you don't want to put that over bare plastic. Plus, the back bumper actually has a lot of work in it, correcting the actual size of it. I had to cut the bumper in three places to I had to add 6 millimeters to it to fit
wow, wow.
because the tail lights are mounted on the bumper on the kit. On the real car, they're not. And I had to. I don't even. I think the parts are in another box in the other room, but I had to spread the tail lights out. I had to do that on the first one too. On the real car, the bumper's actually three-piece, so that line will actually match the real car.
Yeah, microsol. Yeah, now that I've got one, Bill, I can do that for
Yeah.
cutting around the glass.
Yeah, about some of those little saw blades you put in your drum or your die grinder for cutting styrene.
There we go. Get
They're
them.
dangerous little blades, though.
Yeah,
They are really sharp. Same way with this thing here.
this is probably going to
The-
be one of my best prepared bodies because I'm mainly just screwing around while we're live here because I can't walk away and get started painting or anything. So I'm just, keep on sanding and filing. It's going to be one of my best prepared bodies.
There's the. I
Hold on.
probably won't even need this now that I'm going to use the frets for the roof rails, but this is my
Yeah,
secret weapon here for cutting strips of foil.
I got
You
one of those. Yeah.
you can cut them exact the width you want and just stick them on. That thing is so sharp.
It is.
You just
You,
touch it and it cuts you. You just use a straight edge.
I think my next tool, we were talking about it on last night's show. I think I'm going to buy a cricket, that the ladies use for
Yep.
whatever. Debbie has one, but she has like one of the real early version, and all
Mm,
it has is it comes with cartridges, so it's not software controlled at all. And
yeah.
so it's just a fixed amount of stuff. Like she has flowers and this and that, and a
Yeah.
real limited supply. But I hear these new ones, you can like do almost like a CAD drawing or something, and then put
Right.
your vinyl down. So
That
I'm
would
thinking
be
about getting
perfect.
one.
That'd be perfect for making masks for painting white walls and stuff. That's why I bought that circle cutter, that Fisker's circle cutter. I found out it only goes down to an inch, so I'm gonna have to take it back and get the model that cuts smaller diameter circles. That thing was almost $40 for that circle cutter.
Was it really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, he's paying for it, so
Yeah, I think the crickets. I think it's probably about $300 or so.
it'd
I
be
mean,
worth it.
Debbie will probably get out of it a lot too. Like she likes to make
Oh yeah.
homemade greeting cards and stuff. That's why she has her cricket. So she'll probably, get a kick out of the fact that you can customize beyond what she has.
Seems like Krista mentioned that on your Friday show, the cricket.
Yeah, she asked about if making decals with it, and I'm not sure about that, but I
Yeah.
do know that it caused me to think about making like cutting frisket
Yeah.
and masks,
Yeah, you could cut your different layers for the different colors.
and you
That's
can even
basically what I did with that 8 scale Trans Am I did years ago.
yeah.
I
And you can
cut.
even do cool stuff like this graphic, this bumblebee. It says here, you can like if you're going to name
Hmm.
your like a shop truck or an old panel van, and you're going to put a name on it.
Yeah.
Once again, you cut out a stencil, and then
Yeah.
you can airbrush your lettering onto the car. That would be the way to go.
Yeah. When I did that 8 scale Trans Am for that guy, I spent 3 days cutting that bird out for the hood because I actually had to cut three templates because of the different colors on the bird.
Wow.
I pinstriped around the T tops and everything on that. It was a teal with the gold bird and gold stripes. And after all that work, I got it done, clear coated, went to sit on the bench and dropped it.
Okay,
two
so
months, 2 months of work down the drain.
Chad, I see your comment. You can cut out decals on the credit. Okay, so what do you mean there? Okay, so like decal paper. Okay, so you can print with an inkjet. Is that what you're talking about, or because I'm thinking masking, I'm not thinking of
Yeah,
actually decal. So how would you do a decal?
yeah.
Because you got to print an image on a decal, right?
I went over to a sign shop with my roll of frisking. And I had him cut out some stencils for the roadway trailer I was going to build for Dad's 25th scale roadway truck I built him, and they did it on their plotter and it cut that frisking film perfect. I still have the roll of that. I sent Johnny some of it. But
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Dan, somewhere around $400 at Michael's. Yeah,
mhm, mhm.
I'll probably wait till Black Friday or something coming up here, and it's
Yeah,
not that far away already.
I was looking at them when I was there the other night. In fact, I picked up this vinyl chrome, this roll of chrome vinyl. It's made for the Cricut cutter. So I was going to try this instead of that Hasagawa foil, which was garbage. But this was only like $9 for this. It's like, what is this?
Okay, so that's made to be cut with the vinyl cutter, then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 12 inch by 4 foot piece, and it was half the price of that little piece of Hasagawa.
What's the thickness on that?
Oh, it's real thin. It's even thinner than the Hasagawa. Let me see if I can peel some off. I bought the roll and forgot I had it.
I think this Christmas time too, or Black Friday, I think I'm finally gonna buy a 3D printer. I don't think I'm gonna print bodies or anything like that with it, but all these little things that I just showed you that I got from MCV, little things like door handles and horns. I mean, I'd rather have a bag of 100 of those instead of $5 for five of them.
Right. Yeah, you
So,
make your own.
and I don't think the learning curve for little small details like that probably isn't as bad as it is trying to learn how to print a body flawlessly. So,
In fact, I'm right on the fly here. I'm gonna cut a piece of this and see how it sticks. See if it would actually work to replace foil.
I
See if I
still I
can.
still can't believe that nobody's actually making figures really.
I know.
How hard would it be to do a scan and just have figures that can sit down in the car,
Yeah,
even if it's from waist up, or whatever, or cut them
stuff's
off at the
pretty.
knees.
Let me try it on this mule body so I don't mess up all my work here. I'll
You can do
put
it.
this old away.
Gonna do it on camera.
Yeah. Try a piece of this vinyl foil and see what it does on the mule body. This was the casting that was no good here. The one that was so warped up. This is the third body we've been through.
Now, what are you using for the rest of the model? Like, is there a donor car
Uh,
for the
it
chassis
it
and stuff?
it came with the chassis. That car that I stripped was actually a complete build. The blue one I sent you pictures of. I
Right.
look at yeah, this don't want to
But like
stick.
the one you're showing right now, isn't that all that comes, or does that come with a complete kit?
Yeah, you get interior and
Oh,
usually you
okay.
get a chassis, but this one, yeah, this ain't one to stick.
Okay. Like, I bought some parts from Jimmy Flintstone at the last show there, uh, but you need a donor car.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, maybe I didn't get this clean enough. Maybe it's got silica. Here's the Hasagawa foil that I tested on this spear, and it looks like garbage. Let me try to find somewhere to stick this. I think that this resin isn't clean enough or something. 'Cause this ain't one to stick. Yeah, it's
Well, Dan, I'm not really up on 3D printing now, but aren't there quite a few files that you can find?
hmm. Yeah, this ain't one to stick at all. Maybe it's because of the edge of the sheet or something.
Because like even like my sponsor, Model Makers Workshop, if you go to his website, he has a section called the artists. Uh, so it shows all the people where he's buying his files from. So I think maybe you can go to his website, find out what these people offer, and look over their stuff, and then go to their website if you have your own printer and buy their files.
Well, that was a fail.
Was
It
it?
don't, yeah, it don't even want to stick.
Oh, really?
All it is mylar. So I got a 4 foot piece of mylar that don't stick. Maybe I'll take it back.
What was it marketed as? Was it marketed as like a frisket?
It's adhesive foil for the cricket.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
damn, it's got to be able to stick.
you would think that's the beginning of the roll. Maybe if
Yeah.
the edge is like bare metal foil, sometimes don't have adhesive towards the edge.
Of course, they
I'm
sell
not.
that. They sell that adhesive for like to make your own foil. I
Yeah,
wonder. I wonder if that would work.
yeah. But then
Yeah,
you'd have
because
to worry about getting the adhesive all over the place. I guess you put on the back of your foil.
I would hate to spend $400 for that unit, and then start cutting out mass and only to find out that they don't stick good enough.
Right?
Because if you
Yeah,
do a flame mask and it
yeah,
won't stick down,
yeah.
then
You'd probably have to use the high high tack frisking film,
I know
which you,
people do it successfully. I'll have to watch more YouTube videos or something to
yeah,
see exactly what they're buying. Because
yeah,
I know I've seen people do it.
yeah, because that frisking film comes in different tackiness.
Yeah, like I have regular frisket,
Yeah,
which I suppose a cricket could cut through too. I have like a big roll of it.
Oh, it would. That's why I said I took that roll to the sign shop and they cut that out real easy for me.
Okay, there's not much more I can do with that body. I'm kind of all set there.
Yeah, when I made them masks for that Trans Am, that was very labor intensive laying all that out. And I used the actual decal for the template because that frisket film is see through. You can trace right through it.
To give you guys an idea of how I was playing around with the ride height earlier, I had this little standing drum for my Dremel. So I kind of put the tire in there and I measured that I needed about 3/8. So this was 3/8 diameter. So all I did when I took this picture that you see here with the stance, that back tire is literally resting
Mm-hmm.
on that drum. Where am I there? It's resting on this drum. And then I played around on the front. But what I ended up doing is this side here, just a little piece of about 1/8 inch diameter styrene,
Mm.
just to get an idea where the stance is. So now I know what I have to work with. So
Yeah.
as far as actually sticking and modifying, but I'm not opposed to just gluing the wheel back in there, or even having a spacer and gluing the wheel to the top of the wheel well like that. Because if you do it right, it won't show anyways.
Is that one of those that has the axle going through the engine?
On the back, it's an axle, and on the front, you glue. I've already
The
glued it
pins?
on. It's a pin, and this one's
Well,
this car actually has two. This one's for lowering, so
yeah,
this puts you a lowered ride height.
right.
Which, in fact, if I would have used a stock one, I might have been right in the
Yeah,
first place.
the kid would have had air shocks for sure.
Yeah, that's why
I
I'm going
know.
really jacked up in the back.
I know I did on mine.
But I'm not going to be able to put an axle back in. See, this don't even come with leaf springs. I
No.
mean, there's no detail here. It's got welded in exhaust and stuff. So,
Well, they just had torsion arms and coil springs.
yeah, okay, yeah, I see the arms
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But for the center of the wheel, the way I'm lifted, actually, it's just below there. I suppose
Mm.
I could probably pin right here by where my thumbnail is, somewhere
Yeah.
around that height there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I kind of learned that from Irv. The art of
Yeah.
rake is
Yeah.
just, to get that stance, just shim and do everything until you get the look right, and then you can figure out how or where you're going to actually do your mounting.
If you can't get the tire up far enough, cut the top of the tire off.
Yeah, yeah,
I've done it.
yeah. Yeah, and I don't see why not, because even, none of my cars roll. I don't want them to
Yeah.
roll.
I don't know if I was digging through my parts and storage the other day and found my 49 Merc. I don't know if you've seen it yet, or the one I put the Chizoom roof on. I'll go grab it and show you here.
Thanks, Chet. Yeah, there's a market for everything. I'm trying not to buy everything that I need, though. I'm trying to just fab. But it is nice to have stuff ready to use. I got all kinds of stuff resin wise, so let me get some more resin out. I want to show you 3D stuff that I got. Hold on.
I don't know if Sluggo's still on or not, but he was asking me what would be a good roof for a 49 Merc. This is one of my first attempts at chopping a roof. Way back. Or was you in the middle of showing something?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to show something here.
Okay,
All right, so I got all kinds of different stuff here. So
I'll be back in a minute.
what is this? This looks, I'm not sure what this one is. It's a front clip. Okay, yeah, this is a front clip, 3D resin. So if you're going to fit like a big 572 3D printed engine, I've been having to hog out a lot of stuff with my Dremel to get that to fit. So in this case here, you would just cut off the front of your clip and attach this in there, and it'll accommodate a bigger engine. You probably have to make your own little motor mounts or whatever. Hey Ken, when you get a minute, can you show the tires on that 32? Yeah. So the wheels are two-piece. The spokes are separate, and they glue in the back of those rims. I didn't really do a real good job of sanding those before I painted the chrome in there. That's the spray-on chrome from Fusion Firm. And then center caps. The front has center caps. I'm waiting for the back. I was missing them. And then the tires I primed, and then I painted with Kaleido's new rubber black. Usually I use Tamiya rubber black, but I wanted to try. Now these rims don't seem to be fitting real good too. If you look from this area here, you can see unless that's the way they're supposed to look, the rim sticks out. I just don't like them. I do like the engine though. I think that's just a cool mod there. Some nice detail on the motor.
I think it's cool. That grill is amazing.
Yeah, that grill is see-through. And then when I was at NNL, they gave away in your little goodie bag these license plate frames. So they say Showtime on them. I got one on the back too.
So those louvers are printed open, huh?
Yeah, the louvers are printed right on the body. Yeah. I mean, you could use panel liner maybe on them if you wanted to.
I didn't know if they had them printed where they were actually open or not.
And then on that license plate, okay, so that's just a piece of cardstock or photo paper that I printed that license plate onto. But then I put UV resin on there to give it that glossy, like cover look.
Yeah.
I didn't do a real good job though. I've done that before where it looked much more smoother. Like the front one is actually better. Let me see if I can get the reflection. Yeah, see, can you see that license plate is got like a cover on it? That's just UV resin.
Yeah, years ago I tacked some license plates up on the fence and took pictures at different distances and figured out what distance I needed for, like if I wanted to do custom plates, and you just cut the plate out of the photograph. That's how I did the one on that Olds, using a photograph.
So Jason, hang on a second here. I thought that rubber black, I think it looked good here, but when I sprayed it, I actually thought that was a little too gray or blue-gray.
Yeah, it sure looked different than when you sprayed it.
Yeah, it was very gray, but I don't know, compared to the black. Like here's a black model tire here. But I think the black on the model tire is unrealistic. I think a little bit of gray in it would be better. So I think the Tamiya rubber black is probably just a little bit better, but I don't have anything handy right now to demonstrate that. All my stuff is packed up upstairs for the show.
I used to take my tires and take like sandy dust from primer and rub over the tire to make them look a little used.
Yeah, well, I sand rubber tires.
Yeah.
But the resin, what's his name? I was talking to Irv yesterday on the phone, and he recommended like chalks and powders.
Yeah.
In fact, I have some here.
That'd be the same as using primer, yeah.
Let me try it right now. Of course, I don't have a big selection. This is for railroad, so I have soot, medium rust.
So you got more than one Sensi.
I don't have the red colors. Yeah, there's a few Sensis out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Irv's cool. I like his personality.
Actually, I bought this at Hobby Lobby. These are chalks, earth tone chalks.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do is I need to get one of those little things that they crush pills with. I forget what they're called. It's like that little bowl with a little round thingy. But I shave off these sticks to make my powder, but it still needs a little more crushing. But then
Mortar
you
and
can,
pe mortar and pestle.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those because
Yeah.
I can just shave that off with the razor blade, but it's still not fine enough like a powder.
Me being so old, that's what I used to make my paint with. Grind my own pigments, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, shoot.
Dan. Dan, you're asking about the chrome on the wheels. So I have two things here.
Now, I was going to ask you about that because
This
I
is the
ordered.
this is the brush on Fusion Firm, and that is an amazing product. Like you can brush that on a wheel, and it levels out to perfect. But then they sent me this. It's from Fusion Firm 2, and it's liquid chrome, and this is made to airbrush. So when I did that 32 pink car with the chrome base, this is what I sprayed here.
Yeah, that's what I had Chris to order for me today.
And they're made by the same people, and I'm not sure what the difference is because I've airbrushed out of this bottle before too. So I don't know why they actually made a airbrush ready when this can be airbrushed too. So,
Is
but
that
this one they come with a clear varnish. It dulls it down a little bit, but at least you can protect it because none of these are durable.
that's
You
what I
know,
was going to ask you if it's more durable.
I would say marginal.
Mm,
You got to let it sit for 7 8 days, and even then you got to be careful.
mm,
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
I've not found a chrome that's durable yet.
yeah.
But if you're very careful, like on those rims, for example, those 3D printed rims. Where did I put that model? Excuse me. So I actually painted them separately. So the ring and the spokes were painted separately. I just had them taped to a popsicle stick and painted them.
Mm,
But when I glued them, I was very careful and only handled them from the outside. So I never got my fingers in there anywhere.
yeah.
Maybe on this outer edge, but even if
Yeah.
I did get a fingerprint on that edge, it doesn't really show.
Yeah,
So
you
like
wouldn't know
there,
it.
you can chrome okay. Now there's people that are stripping and redoing their bumpers, but that's a tough one
Yeah.
because you got to handle the bumper somehow, and I don't know how
Yeah,
they're
good
doing it
luck.
without a fingerprint.
Not sure how you would. Mm,
I don't know. My trick for model chrome is if it looks too toyish, I've just been either spraying like Tamiya smoke
mm-hmm.
or I'm going to try this Kaleido clear black. I think just toning it down with a clear tint makes model chrome look pretty darn good.
Yeah, you don't want it looking like a toy.
Right. Anyways, it's 37 people here.
Oh yeah.
They must have us on for background noise because I certainly don't see 37 people chatting, but
Hmm.
not everybody wants to chat.
Hopefully they're hitting that, smashing that like button.
Let's see. Let's see. I have YouTube running on my other screen here. That's how I know there's 30. Two people hit
Yeah,
the like button.
I'd have to flip
Yep.
my phone the other way to see the comments.
Here you go. Let me put a banner up there. Uh, Hang on. Where is it? There you go. Hit like and subscribe, folks.
There you go. I
Yeah,
was
well,
on with you for an hour and forgot to hit it.
yeah. I forget too when I watch people's videos.
So if I'm watching on TV, I watch the video and then think I'm going to comment the next day, and I always forget. Yeah, this is my first attempt at doing a chopped roof here.
Wow.
That's actually a Chizoom roof on a 49 Mercury. I had to
Wow.
I had to cut it down the middle because it was way too wide for the body. I narrowed it this way, but it
Wow.
fit perfect. And I made the doors like they'd be like 9 foot scale long. I guess they would have to fold down to open because you'd never have a hinge that would hold all that weight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
and
man, that's awesome.
Yeah, this was probably back in maybe 94 or 5 when I did that. It's got her fingernail visors on that one too. But it this is the one I did with my that's my flame design. I did that with frisking film. That's what I always ended my pinstripes when I did pinstripes on a car. I would do the stripes and then always end in a flame at the end.
So you freehanded that with
Yeah,
the
that's
you freehand cut that.
yeah, with the on the frisking, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I never got around to outlining it with a pinstripe, but you could see I've used that pattern on my real van and several cars and trucks that I pinstripe. But that's my signature pinstripe, putting the flame at the end, like where you start out with an arrow on a pinstripe, or and then I always ended with a flame at the end.
Hmm.
And it was I could make this any size I want.
That is so cool. Oh, two antennas.
Yeah, yeah, they're French tin, both sides.
Yeah, that thing is so badass. That's
I
sweet.
It's only a slammer. I mean, it's just a flat chassis. I
Oh
robbed the
wow.
wheels off of it for something else. I got to find some wheels for it. White walls with baby moons, probably.
See, to me, that's where just curbside could it just works, especially when you get creative like that. I mean,
Oh yeah,
who cares if that bottom is flat? Who
right.
cares what the engine would look like,
Yeah.
even if you had one in there?
Well,
I mean,
it
just that
even
right there looks so good. And I wouldn't want the hood off that car anyways,
it even looks
at a
like
show.
everything would open because they're scored almost all the way through. Then I put the Buick vent holes, and behind those I put medical tape to look like the metal Grady. Like the medical. What do you call it? Oh, not a band-aid, but almost like a gauze tape. And that tegaderm. I don't anyway. And then I made scratch built the headlights to look like the Buick sad eyes. But
Sweet.
yeah, and
Man, I'm in love with that one. Woohoo!
all these windows had to be. I had to make patterns to cut these out and make them flush fit, and not a
I
stitch of foil on that car anywhere.
I told you to quit gifting me cars, but if you ever felt compelled to gift one last one,
Oh, you want this piece of crap?
yeah, to you that's a piece of crap. To me, that's art.
If
God,
you'd
that
seen
thing's
it in person, you'd think otherwise because there's all the body works has ghosted over the years. Like the seam down the roof,
yeah,
that's where the putty shrunk and the plastic moved.
yeah. But
If you look
even
underneath
if
it,
I had a wet sand to repaint it,
see,
the
here's
hard
the
work is done.
you could see the mess the inside is. I mean, it looks like I did it with a hot glue gun inside, but
Wow.
it's not.
Yeah, look at that.
But it's just a flat plate, with metal axle tubes. And then I stuck it in here with double sticky tape.
Doesn't matter how you get there,
No,
as long
yeah,
as it
that's what I
looks good
mean.
in
You
the end.
can, if you can't get your tires to fit, cut the tops of them off.
Yeah. Oh
That's
no, that thing's gorgeous.
now slammer style was the last year I was building. That's pretty much what I did was this style building. That fella down in Kentucky, I think he lives. That's his trademark is that Ken Bondo Brickle is what he called himself. He actually builds models out of Bondo, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
But
No, that, my friend, is a work of art.
you know,
Yeah.
next time I see you, you can have it. I'll have to find some tires. But
Oh, I'm sure I probably have enough to build it out.
I had baby moons and white walls on it, but apparently I robbed them for something. I was looking through my storage upstairs and came across. I was like, dang, I forgot them. I also have a 57 Nomad that I did with purple nail polish. It's even worse than this. I never finished it. I painted the body and didn't like it. Like the same kit that you just did the weathering on, that
Yeah.
Nomad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Cool.
it was pretty sad. This is the AMT Merc. If I ever did another one, I'd do the Revell, probably. So anyway,
Cool. So, anyways, I was going to show a couple other resin stuff that I got, and I, these are just things I haven't played with yet. But here's an example. This is a rear frame. So if you want to do a tub job or something like that, it's a narrowed rear end.
the back half.
Yeah, the back frame and stuff like that, and all the suspension parts are there. Somewhere I think I have one that has the tubbing too. Let's see. What's this one?
You got styrene dream.
I don't
J
even know
die
what this
cat.
one. This is another narrowed chassis. It looks like. I told him to start labeling the bags. Because these are like gifts that he sent me to try and stuff, but like if I was to explain what this is right now, I'd have to go to his website and match it up visually, because I don't know what this is, but I see a frame in there and stuff. And then I got more. See, here's some more low profile tires with sort of torque flight looking wheels, but those wheels will dress up nice. They got the torque flight, and then you got your center caps and lugs that come through. So like if you wanted to have this in a diorama, that's pretty cool, because the wheel would look natural, instead of having to drill it out. But I'm not a fan of the low profile tires. But he's a younger guy, so he sends this stuff to me thinking I'll like it. I'll put it to use, but that's almost like those tires that are on that 32 that I got already. They're just rubber band tires.
Yeah, I was looking through the comments here. I see, what do we got? Styrene dream.
But now this is really cool here. I mean, these are traditional Kragers and BF Goodrich. These paint out really beautiful. These look real. I've used these several times. I bought them from Iceman several times, but now Model Maker Workshop's printing them too. These make beautiful looking tires and wheels, and real nice tread on them. I gotta do it, and I got another box he's sending me. So here's another set of torque thrust wheels. Can't make out what tires that is. Toyo maybe. Now this stuff is where 3D printing I love. Dealing with the body was not a fun thing at all, but the detail that you can get out of stuff like this and the way you can paint them up and make them look beautiful.
It'd be cool if they print them tires in white so you could just sand off the letters.
Yeah.
Raised white tires. Then.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, because I learned that from Don Sheridan. I met him at Columbus show. He lives down in, I think it's Dayton area that he lives.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. He's doing, to me, it's like doing bare metal foil under the paint.
Yeah.
So he's painting the tires white, and then he paints them rubber black, and then he comes back in there and sands or thinner or whatever he's using on the tire letters. But to me, that I'm going to try that next time I do one of these.
Craig's Corners did that, and I suggested printing in white resin. He said, "Why didn't I think of that?" Or somebody did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, well, yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you had an outline white letter tire.
Yeah, it would save you the hassle.
That would be impossible to paint an outline like the Wranglers are like that.
But the thing, though, Kevin, is you got to prime all this 3D printed stuff anyways, because it's kind of porous. So, like, if you tried to do your rubber black without priming it, it would probably suck in the paint, very kind of porous. So it needs to be sealed with primer. So you might as well just prime in white.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it just occurred to me, because I was thinking to yourself, what you just said made sense. But then, but then you got to prime over the white. So.
Yeah. Well, you could shoot your tires with primer and say I'm done. With black primer.
Yeah. I've almost did that with this one. I wanted to see what that
Yeah.
Kaleido rubber black look like.
I'm gonna need white letter tires for my Astro van when I do it.
Yeah,
I had
definitely,
to.
definitely use a MCV or Model Maker's
Mhm.
Workshop, and you'll find some really nice white raised tires.
Yeah, 'cause I had Firehawks on that. The American Racing solid wheel. That was a good looking van. Shame it's destroyed.
I wonder if anybody prints that out there. There's got to be something.
You'd think they would print the Firehawks. Most people were printing the BFGs.
You know, Stephen, I was really skeptical about real rubber versus the resin, and I'm blown away with how good the resin tires look.
Oh,
I
you
just don't.
can't beat the detail.
Yeah, I
You
don't
don't have
have an
that.
example in front of me. The only thing you can't do is you can't sand it. Well, I guess you could sand it lightly to give it
Yeah,
that worn look, and then probably a little dress up, like when you did your rubber black, that you
yeah,
might try like a little embossing
yeah.
powder or something like that. I think there's a way to
Plus,
do it, but I am blown
plus
away how I mean they look like rubber tires.
you don't have to deal with the seam on the tread either.
Yes, yeah, that's
So,
not there.
hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't realize it was getting that late.
Oh my goodness, 10 o'clock. Yeah, I
I
think I'm
guess
going to sign out too. I've been on 3 hours.
I
Holy
got
smokes.
I got doctors in the morning. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to sign off too because I've done all I can to this body. It's ready to go to primer. Well, it's ready to wash and go to primer. So, alrighty. Well, thanks for joining me, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.
All right. I appreciate all you other guys hanging out with
Yeah,
me, keeping me
thanks for
company.
thanks for putting up with me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm used to dealing with you, buddy. you're, you're good.
Wiseacre and all, right?
You're right.
Okay.
Okay. Hey,
All right.
folks, thanks for
See
joining
ya.
us tonight. Appreciate it.